Change is hard, and it always seems to happen really fast. Now, I know that you're thinking that I would for sure be talking about Elon and Trump's dumpster fire breakup. And I did. I really did want to come today with like a Gossip Girl style rundown of the whole plot. But we have bigger fish to fry this week, my friends. We are in a buyer's market for the first time in a very long time, and shit's about to get real on multiple levels. Now, I will have to come back to the Loverboys drama plot because it impacted markets, which will impact interest rates, so stick around. How do you end up in a buyer's market when interest rates are still in the high sixes? Excellent question, my friends. Let's break it down. As of April, unsold inventory in our country has reached a record, nearly $700 billion worth of listings sitting on the market. As you know, Redfin reported last week that listings now outnumber buyers by 500,000. But none of this really means that we're approaching a market crash or the bubble popping in any real way, and I explained exactly why in 3 simple reasons on last week's episode. But the truth is, there has been a very real increase in inventory, especially here in Northern Nevada. We are up 15% over just the last 30 days, and this gives buyers more options, also more negotiating power, especially if they're shopping for starter homes or investment properties. Why? Price trends seem to be varying based on home size. The median price in Reno is currently at $576,000, which is a 4.7% increase year over year. But 2-bedroom homes actually saw a slight decrease of 1.2%. So please, for the love of whatever God you pray to, share this information with your first-time home buyers. Now, market dynamics. Homes are spending more time on the market, which is why we are seeing sellers more willing to accept contingent offers. Of course, this makes yours and my jobs a little bit hairier, but we can handle it. Days on market is now 76 days, which is 2 days further in the direction of a balanced market than where we were in May of last year. Please share that information with both your sellers so they can be realistic and your buyers who have felt trapped because they have to sell in order to buy. Contingent offers are being accepted. All in all, this is going to mean more negotiation across the board, which is great news. Again, for us, because it gives us a chance to demonstrate our value as humans and experts, as opposed to bots. And while fear and uncertainty are definitely factors here, higher interest rates are what's facilitating a lot of this market shift. We tend to think that we want lower interest rates to create a better market for our buyers. But as we saw in the pandemic, that's not really how it works. When interest rates come down, there's such a big influx of buyers and investors in the market that it kind of shoots affordability in the other foot as prices go up. Now, to finish with the economy, Jobs Friday, today, plus the wheels came off the bus with Trump and my boy E yesterday, so let's start with their fight. As you know, because we discussed it right here, one of the major criticisms of Trump's big, beautiful bill is that it will dramatically increase the deficit, the government deficit. Elon, who typically has been down with whatever Trump says, is not down with this bill, and he has made his opinion known. He said we should actually vote out everyone who voted for this bill because it's such a disaster. Trump responded, and things escalated pretty quickly. Tesla's stock tanked 14% during the feud yesterday, and that erased $152 billion in market capitalization. That's wild, huh? That's the largest single-day loss for Tesla in history. Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, also fell 8% yesterday. This former lovers' quarrel impacted the broader market too, of course, fueling investor concerns about market volatility. Now on to jobs. ADP came out Wednesday showing a major softening in the labor market, which makes sense with everything else that's going on. Only 37,000 jobs were added in the private sector. But then BLS came out today, and while we were expecting 125,000 jobs added, we got a report of 139,000 jobs added, and that has currently caused mortgage bonds to go in the red 32 basis points. Rates aren't falling, at least not today, but now you know that only makes it more of a buyer's market.